Happy Monday!
Hello!
It's us again. Diamonds are for life.
Kate and Kendrah.
Yes. So today we're going through a really exciting topic because it's the beginning of the year. You know, you're going to go for those goals this month. We can feel it. You know, you got some good things going on right now. We got the double builder bonus from For Life. We have phase 2 of your contest your way from DiamondsR4Life going on.
Nice.
So there's some good things going on right now.
Yeah.
So you're shooting for those new enrollments. So how can you be a good or a great
Strong leader.
upline leader? Yeah, it's a good question because
We've
sometimes
talked about it before. I interrupted you. I'm so sorry about that.
no, that's totally okay.
But it's
Interrupt me anytime.
You know, I did it again. See, you gave me permission, so I did it. We've talked about it before, but start of a new year. I know I need reminded sometimes.
Yeah. So when you do a new enrollment, sometimes you can do all that work to get them enrolled. And then once they're enrolled, you're like, or maybe you have some people that you've enrolled and you feel like they haven't done much compared to what they wanted to do when they enrolled. So that's what we're going to go through today.
Caitlin, can you please tell the audience what's the first thing that can help us be a great upline leader?
Well, the very first thing that you want to do when you enroll somebody is simple. You just ask them if you can stay in contact with them.
Yeah, that's great.
Because that relieves the pressure off of like when they see your name come across their phone and they're like, oh no, I haven't done anything for my business this week like we talked about last week. Oh my gosh, I really I don't know. They start feeling bad about themselves. I know that I would if I knew that my upline was calling me and we had talked about my goals. Life got in the way. I wasn't, I didn't have a routine for myself. So I just got lost. And I see their name come across my phone and I'm like, I am not answering that.
Yeah, they're going to be so disappointed in me.
Right, exactly. But if after you enroll them, you ask them, hey, is it all right with you if I just check up on you every couple weeks, and just see how you're doing? Then they'll be like, yeah, absolutely. So then it kind of relieves that pressure from when they see your name come across their phone as more of a checkup rather than a what have you done this week type thing. Yeah, for real. So what's the next thing on the list?
You should position yourself as a leader and not their boss. Like, hey, you need to call 10 people this week or else I'm done.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right. You want to think of the type of person that you imagine as a great leader. Like, what are the types of things that they say to their team? What are the types of things that they do with their team? And then emulate that. Take what you would think is a great leader and make yourself that great leader.
Be the friend that you would like to have in your life. Like, if you're like, I would want this person to be very sensitive and mindful that I just started, and be that to them, because they are where you were at,
They're totally new and it's totally new for them. So they need someone there to be able to support them. And as far as they know, you have, even just being one step ahead, you're able to lead people that aren't at that step that you're at. So just be one step ahead at the very least.
What is the next one?
So the next one is finding out their goals, because finding out their goals is going to guide every single interaction that you have with them after enrollment.
Right.
And it should guide every single interaction that you have after enrollment, because having that at the front of your mind, even if you're just calling them to say have a good day or check up on how their family's doing because you heard that, they were sick or something, still having that in your mind for, being able to bring that up at some point. And it obviously you're going to have to figure out your people skills. I think you have to learn when it's okay to bring that type of stuff up. But that'll take time and that'll just take experience.
Right.
I feel like. So let's go ahead and jump into a couple things. So those were basically mindset things. Those were aligning yourself with being a good leader. What are some tasks that you can do, because those are more mindset-ish type things. So we're going to dive into tasks that you can do.
Let's do it. I remember this video. You're like, let's dive right in.
Dive right in. I dive right in. So the first thing that you want to do is keep track of your team. You can do this with something called a CRM. It basically would allow you to download your For-Life downline reports every like week or month and enter them into that CRM. And then you can keep notes in there about your interactions with those people, their contact information, have their address updated. You can also tag them in certain ways to have different groupings if you want to do that, if you're shooting for a certain rank. Or if you
can even email blast through there, which is awesome.
Yeah, then you can export, because even if people enroll, and maybe you have a couple of these types of people in your downline, or you have before, where you enroll them and they don't do anything, and they don't even buy the products. Now, after a certain amount of time, they are purged from For-Life system due to inactivity. So if you only rely on your For-Life reports, then those people will no longer be, in your For-Life report. So if you want to keep every single person that's ever enrolled into your downline into a contact manager, look into a CRM. There's a lot of them out there. Just look at the features. There's a lot of free ones out there. There's some that are pretty cheap. And just see what works for you, what type of features you're looking for in a contact manager.
Absolutely.
What's the next one?
This one is for something that you could do every day. Check your For-Life reports for new enrollments, guest orders on my shop website, etc. With new enrollments, you can text them and say, hey, welcome to the team. Or if they ordered on your My Shop, you can be like, thank you for your order. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, because those are all guest customers. So there's a chance that you've had some sort of interaction with them. But you're not going to have a report of My Shop orders. As far as I know, there's no My Shop report. There's just recent orders. You'll find those in your recent orders area. Or in the For-Life app, there is an area for My Shop orders, but there's no singular report as of right now for My Shop orders, so you can't follow up with them. Like if you don't do it this month, then there's no way to enter them into your CRM. Like by downloading those reports and putting them into a CRM, those My Shop orders aren't going to be there. So you have to make the effort to find those guest orders and make a connection with them, so you can get them enrolled as a preferred customer and then get them in your For-Life report. So then they're there every month.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do I have the next one?
Actually, I have two more.
Okay, girl, you go for it.
Okay, so then you can check your DMs, emails, and messages to stay up on your team's messages. So like Instagram DMs or Facebook Messenger. WhatsApp. There's a couple more probably. There's a lot of. So if you have team members on those apps, make sure that you're checking those. So always point them to training, tools, and resources when they are asking questions. This reinforces duplication within their team. Eventually, they will look for these things themselves, and when their team has questions, they'll know where to find the answers for their team. We always talk about what? Duplication.
That is the magic, the super secret magic thing in your downline that's able to help you get that residual income. It also helps you keep a steady flow of people in your downline. If people are trying to reach certain ranks, then you want duplication because it increases retention in your group. And the longer that people are around and know where to find the answers, you actually have more people that know what they're doing in your team, and you want that. You want experienced people, because if you're always enrolling and just letting people slide off, you're never going to have those experienced people that know where to find certain things or know of certain tools. So it's very important to keep that duplication going in your team. It helps you hit ranks. It helps your team hit ranks. Duplication is something that you definitely want to target.
Right. And don't do it for them. You can show them, but like something as simple as, can you help me call for life to place an order? You show them one time. And then if they ask again, oh, remember, this is the number and this is what you do. And then send them off on their way.
Yeah. And another idea is if someone asks a question, we do this in our support. Like if you email support@DiamondsR4Life.com, or if you get on any of our live chats that are on our websites, we'll usually answer the question, but also give you where the answer was. So then next time you know where it is. But then also you have the ability to show your team where that tool is.
What's the next one?
The next one is to stay in contact with your team. Okay, so that sounds really like duh, but it is so easy to get lost in your week. It is so easy to get lost in your routine. So you have to make sure that you're making time to do these things, because if you do not make time, if you do not write it down, you're not going to do it. It's just simple and easy as that, you know what I mean? So one thing that you can use as a tool from DiamondsR4Life to help you stay in contact with your team is to use the daily, weekly, monthly checklist from DiamondsR4Life. You guys have never heard of that before, have they? Whoa, that is so crazy. So we do have a video on the daily, weekly, monthly checklist on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and check that out there. And it basically shows you the idea behind using the daily, weekly, monthly checklist and how we suggest that you use them to get the most out of them.
The link to the YouTube channel is in the portal, isn't it?
It is in the portal. You can also go to youtube.com and type in DiamondsR4Life, all one word, and find it there as well.
Got it.
Bada bing, bada boom.
What's the next one?
The next one is to be aware of your team's goals. Now, this kind of goes along with, you know, at the beginning, we said find out their goals because it's going to guide every interaction that you have with them. But you also want to be aware of their goals at every single interaction that you have with them. Because if they feel stuck, you can use those goals to help get them back on the path. That also enforces duplication, because everything that you do with your team, you want them to do with their team. So then you're not taking, you know, 5 minutes out of your day to help them, and then 5 minutes out of your day to help that person's person, and then 5 minutes out of your day to help that person's person. And you just keep doing it. And then you're spending a lot more time doing those things instead of teaching your leader, taking time to teach your leader how to do that so they can do that with their person and their person can do that with their person. So we have a tool from DiamondsR4Life to help you keep their goals at the front of your mind and their mind. It's called the Goals Timeline from DiamondsR4Life. And it breaks down your goal. So the purpose behind your goal breaks that down into what your big goal is, your big focus is right now, breaks that down into stepping stone goals, because you can't just climb a mountain in one big jump. You have to go, you know, shovel by shovel. So you're going to take your big goal and you're going to break it down into stepping stone goals. And then we're not even going to stop there, but this is a proven formula. Okay. So this works. We're going to break your stepping stone goals down into the effort you're going to put towards those stepping stone goals, because then you can work those into your day.
Right.
So it's very important. It sounds very hard, sounds very, you know, intricate, but
yes,
it isn't.
it works.
Yeah, it works so well. So you want to stay on top of your team's current goals every single month and allow those goals to guide your conversations with them. You can remind them of what their goals are. If they call you and they're feeling stuck, you could say, well, let me get out your goals timeline really quick, or you could just have it out already and then be like, okay, so your goal for this month was to achieve builder elite, and then the different stepping stone goals. So you're at associate right now. So one of the stepping stone goals could have been on that chart to enroll one person.
Mhm.
It could have been to achieve, 500 LP. Now that's halfway to Builder Elite, because Builder Elite, I believe, is 1,000 LP. So that would be a stepping stone goal, 500 LP. So you could be like, okay, so it looks like our stepping stone goal for this month was the 500 LP in your downline. You have, about 324 LP right now. So let's see what effort you're putting towards this goal. Okay, well, how many people are you calling this week? Okay, so you're calling 5 people per week. How many posts are you doing? Because I know you're interested in social media marketing. Okay, you're doing 3 posts every week. Okay, let me go to your social media and I'll kind of see the type of things that you're posting. Oh, okay, well, here's my suggestion. I would be a little bit more mysterious about the product that you're talking about. I wouldn't just post a link. You definitely want to give more value in your post.
Yeah.
That was an example. Okay, anyways, what are some ideas for staying in contact with your team? Because staying in contact with your team
It's very important.
is very important.
To make them feel important.
Yes.
They're not just a stepping stone to get you to where you want to go.
You should have a genuine desire to help your team get to their goals. You're not trying to help them to get to your goals. You should have a genuine desire to help them get to their goals.
Right.
That's the purpose behind a goal.
Yes.
Okay, so what
Alright.
is something they can do?
Something simple that you can say, text, hey, hope you're having a great day. Here's a funny quote I saw. It made me think of you. You could send it and even like an inspirational quote to them. There's many that you can find on Google. Just type in inspirational quotes and there will be many. The next one, if you know someone's traveling, you could say, hey, safe travels on your trip this weekend. Or you can remind them about the daily checklist. Hey, just reminding you about this. The next one, remind them about the trainings or show them how to enroll in SMS alerts, like text alerts.
Yeah.
But those are some things that you can do or say, just kind of casual talk.
Yeah, it's like trying to be intentional with your communication. There's intention behind it. There's a reason behind it.
Right.
But also trying to keep it, more on the small talk side of things. And reminding them about the daily checklist. A way you can do that, because I know that might feel kind of awkward to be like,
Right.
hey, here's the checklist for you to do.
Yeah.
Because you should be doing it. You can be like, hey, I just wanted to see if you had time to go through the daily checklist with me. We could do it together. That type of thing.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
That's simple and it doesn't like force them into anything.
Right.
So,
okay. So those were some things you could do every couple of days, is just send small messages like that to your team members. Every week, we suggest that you could go through the weekly checklist with your team members and make sure that they're staying on track. That's one idea. The second thing is to evaluate the goals of each person on your team to see what their goal is this week and how you can help them.
yeah.
Your goals for the month, your goals for the week, and your goals for the day are all going to be different, but
Mhm.
also they should synergize with each other. They should be stepping stones to your big goal for the month, is what your daily and weekly goals are. The third thing that you could do is to message them and be like, hey, Sarah, I hope you're doing well. Do you have some time this week to go over your goal of, and then insert goal. So those are some ideas. I know sometimes when someone gives me an idea of what to do, sometimes I need like, but what should I say?
Right.
So I like to work in things that you can say. I feel like that makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
Even if you take it word for word, or even if you kind of mix it up a little bit and put a little bit of spice into it.
Yeah. So okay, let me start over. What should we be doing every 2 weeks? We talked about daily and then every week, but what about every 2 weeks?
So every 2 weeks, you can evaluate each person's team to see what you can help with, because
Yeah.
your people have their own team.
Right.
And checking in with your people is a very good idea. You should be doing that, but you
Right.
also should be kind of analyzing their team, because remember, if you're shooting for those goals that are kind of up there in For Life, they require legs. Your different legs have to have different ranks achieved
Right.
in them. So for Diamond Elite, you have to have 2 diamonds in separate legs. So if you're not analyzing your person's team, that leg, and seeing how you can help them achieve their goals, then it's going to be a little bit harder to analyze how you are actually going to be able to hit that Diamond Elite.
Right.
So that is one thing. Here's a couple things that you can check up on in your downline. So are there any loyalty orders that haven't been processed that you should check up on for them, or that you should be doing with your personal team members? And one thing to make that duplicable. So if you have some people in your person's team whose loyalty orders haven't been processed, you let that team leader know, hey, Sarah's order hasn't been processed. Do you want to do a 3-way with me, right, to help her set that up? If you know that they have experience in doing that, then even just a small reminder, hey, Sarah's order hasn't been processed, her loyalty order hasn't been processed, just letting you know, a simple reminder like that. Are there new members that you should be introduced to? So a way that you could call your team members, a way that you could call your team member if they have a new person that you need to be introduced to, is you could call them and be like, hey, I saw that Sarah just enrolled. When do you have time to do a 3-way with me so you can introduce me to Sarah? Right. Okay. Are there any guest orders being processed that your team member isn't following up with? So like we said earlier, guest My Shop orders, those are the ones that count towards your PV. So if you have any order placed on your My Shop website, that is a guest order, and it counts, any LP that's bought counts towards your PV for the month. You have to have 100 PV to qualify for commissions. And you can get that whole 100 PV from guest My Shop orders, or you could get the whole 100 PV from buying the LP yourself, or you could do a combination of both. But if there's My Shop orders, whether personally or from a team member's My Shop order, then you just want to make sure that you're following up with those types of things. You could be like, hey, I saw that you had some, because you're not going to be able to see that they have guest My Shop orders. What you're going to be able to see is that they purchase, like, let's say they had a loyalty order set up, and you know that their loyalty order processes at 125 LP, or let's do an odd number, like 143 LP, and their PV for the month is, you know, what, 456. So the difference between those two would be My Shop orders, would be my first thought. There might be other ways to do that, but that would be my first thought, is that it would be My Shop. So you could reach out to that person and be like, hey, I noticed your PV for the month is above your loyalty order. Just making sure that you check up on that My Shop area to see if you had any guest orders and that you're checking up with those. Okay. Are there any customers that have been ordering for a while and can be asked about their product journey or any referrals that they know? This is a great way to get new customers, whether they're guest customers or preferred customers, is by calling up your customers and asking them, checking up with them, hey, just wondering how those products are working for you. I know you've been taking that collagen type 1 and your goal was to, you know, maybe have healthier hair, skin, and nails. How is that working for you? I know you've been on it for a couple months. If they're having great results with it, then you can be like, okay, well, do you know of anybody else that would like the same results as you? Is there something else that, you know, you noticed in your friend group that they might struggle with a specific type of thing? We can try and conquer that health goal with you, with her or him or them, you know? So that's a really great way to get more referrals, is with customers that are having great results with their products.
Right.
So every month, do you want to do every month?
Sure.
Okay.
You can go through the monthly checklist with your team members to make sure that they are staying on track.
Yes.
Say, hey, do you have a minute to talk about that checklist? And if they say no, that's fine. But if they say yes, that's great. And you can go, look through there and see, what the month was looking like for them. And yeah,
if they say no, then you did your job as their leader to send that message or call them. You put your effort forth. And if they say no, then their success is on them, but you at least did your 50%.
Right.
So another thing that you can do you have that one or do you want me to? You. Okay. Another thing you can do is to go through that goals timeline that we talked about before every month with your leader and just make sure that you're reevaluating what their goals are for that month.
Right.
Figuring out, okay, did we achieve that stepping stone goal that you were trying to go for this month? Or do we need to shoot for a different stepping stone goal that might be below or above that stepping stone goal that they were going for? That's a really great way. You're going to find a lot of evaluation happening. A lot of communication and evaluation are how you are a great team leader.
Right.
And being attentive. So, those are different ways that you can be a great team leader, because being a great team leader is how you are going to be successful. And also, more importantly, how your team members are going to be more successful, because your success has more to do with their success than your own personal success.
Yes.
Mic drop.
We believe in you. This is the start of a great new year.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see where everybody goes in this journey. And we're all here for you.
Absolutely. And don't let the things that happened last year that you feel held you back, don't let them hold you back anymore. Don't let the, feeling down about the things that you might have fallen short on last year, don't let them get you down anymore.
Right.
Getting down on it is not going to solve the problem. What's going to solve the problem is figuring out how to not allow that to happen again. Even if it's things that you can't control, there's some part of it that you can control, and most of it is going to be your mindset.
Yep.
And I actually suggest that you go to our YouTube channel. I know we talked about the daily, weekly, monthly checklist video, but I suggest that you go to the Monday Night Live that Lauren hosted a couple weeks back. It was your most powerful success asset in MLM.
Yep.
You go watch that, you come out changed. Okay?
You sure
That's
do.
all I'm going to say. All right, guys, we're going to sign off for tonight. We hope that you have a super blessed day. We have product training tomorrow at 8 p.m. We have prospecting training on Thursday at 8 p.m. We also have 2 awesome contests going on right now. We have the Double Builder bonus from For4Life, and we have the phase 2 of your contest, your way from DiamondsR4Life. So take advantage of this time. You got this. We believe in you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.